Hello crafty friends, my name is Kimberly Smith and I'm the Papered Chef. Today I would like to tell you about my latest course that I'm launching on Udemy. It is called Card Making with the Brother ScanNCut. Card making involves many things, both traditional methods and, in this course, technical methods. You are going to learn how to create cards using Canvas Workspace, and we're going to be cutting them out with two different models of machine. So you can apply what you learned to any model of ScanNCut you have. I have sections where we cut out the pieces using the CM350 or ScanNCut 2. Let me put this down for a second. And I have, sorry for the noise, I have sections where you will be cutting out the pieces using the SDX 125. And therefore, you can take what you learn and apply it to any model of machine that you have. I'm putting that down. That was heavy. So this is my fifth course on Udemy, this card making course. And if you've taken my previous courses, you'll know that they're all project-based, but I never repeat my projects. I have a CM350 Basics course, CM350 Advanced course, all different projects in each course. And then I have a label making course. And then I also have an SDX 125 course. Every project in this course will not be anything that you've ever seen before. Okay, so a little bit about this is that all of the projects in this course are my original designs. You're going to get all the measurements and you're going to be able to repeat these designs with whatever materials you have. I keep my courses very real, very practical. You're going to see me make mistakes. I don't stop recording. And although I've shot many of these videos many times because of lighting or audio or some other reason, if I make mistakes, I keep on rolling because that might happen to you. And I want to show you how to troubleshoot as you encounter mistakes. So the course is broken down into 5 modules. The first module is creating Z-fold cards. And just so you know what to expect from the course is I use the ScanNCut for certain things in my card making, but not for everything. So in this first module of creating Z-fold cards, you're going to see how I created the different pieces using the ScanNCut, such as the layers that you're going to need in your cards. Okay, so they fold out. On the other hand, the card base itself, I'm going to show you how to use traditional methods. A simply scored scoring tool, also known as a scoreboard, which every card maker should have, and just paper trimmers. I'm creating the card bases manually, like I do on my YouTube channel. You've seen me make gatefold cards and other cards. That's what I do here. But the ScanNCut allows you to create precise layers. Your cards will look more professional when you create precise layers. You will have a more efficient time creating cards. You're going to get more done because you can repeat the processes over and over. And not only that, you can create templates and cut out multiple pieces at the same time. This will just take your card making skills to a whole new level. Okay, so as a bonus or as an extra thing that you're going to learn in this course, aside from creating designs, is you're going to learn how to stamp, because after all, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to show you stamping techniques because that's what I do all the time. I do it on YouTube, I do it at my workshops, and I love to share stamping techniques. So this is an extra added bonus if you're taking my course. So for instance, I show you how to create these oval layers, but then I also show you how to stamp the sentiments. I show you how to color stamped images. I don't know which part's in focus, so I'll just move that forward. I hope you can see that there's even some Wink of Stella on there, some shimmer on this truck. I show you how to use alcohol markers or Stampin' Blends to color this particular truck. And I show you how to use coordinating stamp ink colors, which match the designer series paper. Okay, so that is the section on Z-fold cards. And before I move on to section 2 is I have what's called a Patreon channel, and those are people who support my YouTube channel. So they're called patrons or Patreons, and I'll have a link in the description of this video if you want to support my channel. If they are at so there's 4 levels of support, and there's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And the silver, gold, and platinum supporters get my courses for free. And not only that, they helped me come up with this topic. So I wanted to give them a shout out right now, because when I put out a poll about should I do a card making course or should I do a course on Canvas Workspace, they said, oh, please do one on both. They asked me. And then more people started emailing me separately. My supporters said, I would like a course on using Brother Canvas Workspace and the machine Canvas and the Brother ScanNCut to create cards. So based on the feedback from my supporters, which I'm going to be calling my brain trust because they helped me come up with the topic for this course, that's how I came up with it. And then I've even given them sneak peeks along the way of what's going to be in my course. And then they'll be getting coupons for my course. So if you want to be a supporter of my channel, those are some, extra benefits. And also, I've also based the course topics. Like for instance, later when I teach about SVG files, I base that on feedback from my former Udemy students, because I have hundreds of former Udemy students who've done reviews, and they've asked me to delve deeper into Canvas Workspace as well, and they've asked me for information on how to cut out an SVG file. So I just needed to say that before I forget. Okay, but back on to what the course is about. Okay, so the second module in the course is called Creating Easel Cards. Okay, so Easel cards, again, just like the Z-Fold cards, are typical A2 cards. Okay, A2 standard cards. And of course you can adapt this to, if you're in another country, you can be anywhere in the world and take my Udemy courses. And you can adapt the measurements to fit whatever size cardstock you're using. Here we go. I'm going to show you the Easel card. Okay. So this is an Easel card using the Everything is Rosy product medley. We didn't even have to go and cut out pattern paper because I had all these, like lots of these little, here, like this one, these little floral embellishments anyway as part of the suite that I was using. Okay. In fact, yeah. And I just wanted to mention also with the Easel Fold cards is, again, I use the ScanNCut. I just want to explain what parts I use the ScanNCut for and what parts I use traditional methods for in this section. So the ScanNCut create perfect cardstock layers, like this cardstock. All these different layers. Create perfect designer series paper layers. And then create layers for your sentiments to stamp onto. And then I show you how to do the stamping. So we stamp the sentiments, and of course, based on the stamp set you're using, you can take my exact design, modify it, and make layers to fit your sentiments that you have in your stash. Okay, so with the Everything is Rosy medley though, I do explain in the course, and I want to explain to you so you know, like I didn't cut these little tiny gold flourishes using the ScanNCut because I have dies. And sometimes metal dies are better than the ScanNCut. Or not better, it's just that I have them. I use the best tool for the job, and the best tools that I have, I had coordinating rose-colored gold foil, and I created these cards based on the materials I had. So while we used the ScanNCut for a lot of things, some of the embellishments were not with the ScanNCut. Okay, so that was section number 2, creating easel cards. Again, you'll have all my measurements from my design. All right, the section 3 is pretty cool because in this section, we use, so I start out using Canvas Workspace for maybe half of the card project, and then you cut it out with your machine. The section 3 though, we create what's called mini note cards. And in that section, this is pretty cool. We are creating start to finish an entire card and an envelope using your ScanNCut. So there's going to be no me pulling in my paper trimmer and scoring tools like I did for the first 2 projects. You are going to learn start to finish. Like, well, what if I want the ScanNCut to score it for me? And it does a good job scoring, but it's different than what you can do when you score it manually. But in other words, the way that the ScanNCut scores is by creating little dash score lines. I'm going to be explaining all this in the course in much greater detail, why I use certain methods, but this course section is pretty cool. Again, I'm using ScanNCut products, and I think I use ScanNCut products for like the entire course, only because that's what I have. but I also explain in the course that you just use whatever you have. Whatever methods, whatever materials you have, you can follow along. Okay, here's why this section of the course is exciting. Because I don't even think, with my hundreds of YouTube tutorials and all the courses I've had, I don't think I've ever really taught this method before of welding. I'm pretty sure I just welded basic shapes. And I know I have before in my SDX course. But we actually weld, we actually create a frame. That's the background of this note cards, the frame. And then we take a flower that is provided for us in Canvas Workspace, and we put the flower inside the frame, and we stretch it, resize it, and then we weld the shapes together, giving us this unique design. And I just really like the way they came out. I tried them at different sizes as experimentation. I tried larger cards. They just weren't as cute. So we ended up with the mini note card because that's just what ended up happening in this project. So we made a set of 4, but of course you don't have to use them as a set. I would use these as thank you cards for customers. The inside of the little flower can be used as the way that you seal the cute little envelopes. We designed this envelope from scratch. I show you how to create score lines. So to take a shape that's already given to you inside Canvas Workspace, not given to you, but it's free. Brother provides it for you. We create the score lines, and then we cut out these envelopes in designer series paper, and then they match our note cards perfectly. So that's this section of the course that's very exciting to me, because you can take what you learn and go, oh, I want a different card. I don't want my envelope to be square. I want it to be rectangle. Whatever you've just learned, you can apply it to your own project. So I hope your wheels are spinning about how you can design your own cards in Canvas Workspace. So that was section number 3. Section number 4 is my favorite section. Okay, the reason it's my favorite section is because, and you'll even hear me in the video go, oh wow, like wow, this is the section where I had, in the other sections I had examples already. I had done a lot of experimentation and come up with samples and then measurements, and I came up with the lessons. This one in particular, this section of the course, I created my sample as I was teaching you how to create your sample. So it's actually a benefit to me, and it's a benefit to you watching the course, because you're going to get to see me go, oh, well, let me see how that goes together. You're going to watch me make design decisions as we go through. Okay, so let me move my basket and tell you about this section of the course. So we're creating what's called in this section, it's called a pop-up card, also called a box card. Okay, a box card or pop-up card. So it folds flat, and then the recipient opens it, and you could put messages on it if you want to write on it, but mine aren't even to write on. They're just little works of art people can put on their desk. So again, an original design, and I just was so happy with the way it came out. So I started out, I said, well, I'm going to use, the reason I even started on this venture was because to create the pop-up card, I needed 12 by 12 cardstock. So I looked all around my stash and I said, oh, I have the in colors. So these are Stampin' Up! In colors. Seaside Spray, Rococo Rose, and Purple Posy. And that's what I had 12 by 12 cardstock for. So I was like, I cut it out, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So we use a template from within Canvas Workspace. I show you how to get that template, transfer it to your machine, cut out the box card base. Okay, fair enough. So we cut out the base. And then I'm like, okay, so now we need designer series paper to make all the layers with. So I dig through my stash and I find all these in colors of designer series paper. And I found like a great stack which would work, and I cut out. And then I pulled out all my ink that was also in colors. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I have markers and I have ink pads. So I did some sponging, and I came up with this. Let me show my crafty friends in this class how to create stitch shapes. So I think you're going to be excited about this, and I'm not sure if you can see this right now, but you know how you can get metal dies and they cut out, you get metal dies and you cut out little stitching inside of a shape. So that's what these are. I don't know how this is going to work, but these are stitched shapes. meaning, and I also inked them. I showed here, like this square has a stitching around the inside, and so do the circles. So the ScanNCut does the stitched shapes for you. And then I show you traditional things like inking and sponging them and stamping them. Okay, so it was just very, very exciting for me because I started coloring in the butterflies, and then the cards looked nice when I started and they were plain, and then I just kept embellishing them and building up the butterflies, and they came out like way beyond my expectations. At the same time, I showed you all these things to do with the ScanNCut, how to cut out the card base, the designer series paper layers, the cardstock layers, and how to cut out stamped images. This is the only time we cut out stamped images. We cut out the butterflies. I also showed you that, hey, I have a punch. I have a butterfly punch. So in the case where I'm just cutting out plain old butterflies in designer series paper, why do I need the ScanNCut when I have a punch? So I use the punch for different things. But at the same time, we can use the ScanNCut to make an extra layer. I don't know if you can see that, but we can make bigger layers outside of our embellishments that you can't do with a punch, which has a fixed size to it. So anyway, they came out way beyond my expectations, these pop-up cards. And the last time I gave a pop-up card to someone, I just stuck it right in the top of the gift basket. So I was doing a birthday basket, and you may have seen this on my YouTube channel. I did recently a pop-up card using Perennial Essence Designer Series paper and a bunch of little cows from the Over the Moon stamp set. And in that project, I just stuck the cow card right on top of the birthday basket full of birthday things and a couple other cow things. And I didn't even need to fold it at all. And then I put my message on the back. And oh boy, did she love it. She loved it. All right, so then I have an envelope section. I was about to end the course and I said, wait, I have not shown my crafty friends how to create envelopes. I mean, I did show you how to create envelopes in the section where you create them with your ScanNCut, but I didn't show you how to create them with my envelope punch board, and I thought this is a great addition to the course. And not only that, this item right now is on sale for $12, and I'll have a link to it. I just thought of this. If it's even still available by the time this video gets aired. But it's on clearance, and you can't find them anywhere else for $12. But you can find envelope punch boards from other places. But this is an envelope punch board by Stampin' Up. And I like it. It has all the measurements on it. And I thought, why not show my crafty friends here in this course, my students, how to create envelopes to match the cards that we made in the course. All right, so first in that section, I just showed you something I'm working on right now, which won't be here for long, so I have to mail these out. Sadly enough, I'm working on sympathy cards. And on one of them, I'm putting in a bigger envelope, and I made a matching envelope for using the envelope punch board. Okay, so what's nice when you use designer series paper, is that it fits right in the envelope and it matches and it all coordinates. Okay, but then I said, well, let me show my students how to create envelopes to match the projects we created earlier in the course. So that's what I showed you how to do. So you're going to create the envelopes here. Let's see. I got to put that in. Here we go. And by the way, this is called Come Together Designer Series paper, part of our holiday catalog. Okay, and so this is pretty peacock, the color, and it perfectly coordinates with the Z fold card. And I did another one. I like this really nice wood pattern. I showed you how to curve the front of the envelope and how not to, and this is another really cool way to make an envelope. So now these are ready to go. These cards and envelopes are ready to go. And then I showed you how to use the envelope punch board to create a card with cardstock and how to embellish it, how to create a little belly band. You've probably seen me make belly bands on YouTube before when I've made gift card holders, but I just used some of the embellishments from the Everything is Rosy product medley suite, and I created cardstock. This is Night of Navy, and I just created envelope to match. That would match these easel cards that we made earlier in the course, the easel cards from section 2. So this is the last section of the course where I show how to create envelopes, and that's not all. So just once again, I showed how to create them using Canvas Workspace, create an envelope. I showed how to do it manually using the envelope punch board. And lastly, I mentioned this earlier, is Based on feedback from my patrons from my channel and based on feedback from former students in this course, you were asking for SVG files. You were asking about how to get SVG files, scalable vector graphics. In the video I created in very detailed video in this course, I show you start to finish how to go online, and we get this free SVG file. Now, I also support lots of small businesses and artists. I also purchase SVG files, but this one happens to be free, so why not? Right? It was free, so I showed you how to download it, how to download this file, and it's called the A2 envelope box card, or A2 box card envelope, A2 box, or A2 envelope box, whatever. It fits 3 or 4 cards in it. It's a box, basically, but it's also an envelope. So it's an envelope box. Okay, so I show you how to go get this file. And when you get an SVG file, you first have to obtain it, and you have to find out, do I purchase it or do I put it in my cart for free? And then you add your information and check out. Then you download a file, and it's in the zip format or compressed format. So now you're like, well, what do I do now? I show you what to do. You extract the file onto your computer. I'm using a PC, but you should be able to follow along if you have a Mac or another kind of computer. After you extract the file, I show you how to import the file into Canvas Workspace. At that point, I show you the different parts of the file. I show you how to group objects, and which I've been showing throughout the whole course: grouping, ungrouping, editing. You could resize the envelope box if you wanted to, whichever. Then I show you how to transfer it to your machine where you would cut it out. And I went and cut it out for you just to show you an example. Okay, so that's working with SVG files. I put that in the envelope section. The process is the same whether you go to any website that has SVG files. You always have to go download them, extract them, import them, etc. Okay, finally, so that was my course in a nutshell. And then in the bonus section, I give you links to other materials you might need and other tutorials and things like that at the very end. So what you need before you start the course, there will be links in the description of this video, and I want you to make sure you go out and you set up your wireless network, because I'm not going to start the course with a lot of basics again. This is project-based learning, meaning I am jumping after the introduction to the course and introduction to the projects, how to navigate the course, boom, you start creating cards. You are going to create cards. So I'm not going to teach you the wireless settings again, because I'm expecting that many of my former students from Udemy and former viewers and subscribers on YouTube are the ones taking this course. Maybe it's not a good assumption, but I'm telling you right now that I will support anyone that needs help with the wireless, but I'm just hoping that you all go do this ahead of time before you enroll in my course. And there's going to be links for course coupons. I'll get to that lastly. All right. To set up your wireless on your machine, you need to do 3 things. If you have a ScanNCut 2 or CM350, you need to purchase a wireless activation card. Okay, so that's actually 4 things for you, because the 4th thing is you gotta do a wireless activation card. The CM350, I'm just gonna hold it up again as a prop, but I'm not picking up the other one, it's too heavy. The CM350 needs a special wireless activation card. You rub off the number, and then you're going to enter that into your machine, and then your machine becomes wireless activated. Whereas the SDX 125, it comes wireless ready, no activation card is needed. All right, so now we're on even playing field. So now I'm going to tell you the 3 steps you would use on either machine. Step number 1 is when you go into your wireless network settings, in your settings, which is the little wrench in your machine, you go down to the wireless LAN, WLAN, wireless LAN. And you do the network setup wizard. And you're going to first get your machine on your network. There's a password on the back of your router. Your internet service provider gives you a router, and on the back there's a password. You enter the password into your machine. Your machine is now connected to your wireless network. Step number 1. You go through the steps, and it will tell you a code to enter. Okay, it's a PIN code. Okay, so now we have the PIN code. You write it down on a sticky note. You go over to your computer and you register. This is step number 2 for a free Canvas Workspace account. you go get your Canvas Workspace account. Mine is called Papered Chef. And then you go, and then it's going to ask you to register your machine inside Canvas Workspace. So I registered my machine, I put in the little PIN code. Now my machine is associated with my Canvas Workspace account. So now when I log into Canvas Workspace and I create a card, like I'm showing you, like we create this really cool card project, and we have a little card and it scores, and we have a cute little flower, we can transfer them to our machine. As long as we do the third step, which is going back and making sure you associate the machine, and it will walk you through the steps to Canvas Workspace. Okay, so there's a 3-step process. Register your machine on the network, get a PIN code, or go get a Canvas Workspace account, and get the code, and go back, and it should be registered. And I have all of this in the tutorials. The reason I didn't include it again in this course is because it's already in my other courses, and because it's easier for me to just link outwards to those tutorials rather than repeat content. And once you also want to do this because when your machine is on the wireless network, it'll automatically get the updates it needs. So you want your machine to get the updates automatically, don't you? So you want wireless enabled on your machine. All right. Some things you might not know about Udemy instructors, okay? And I'm just letting you know this because, like, after all, I have a crafting business. I'm really working hard at it. This course took me hundreds of hours to prepare. I'm working more than full-time on it, and I'm trying to become a full-time crafter. So I want you to understand how Udemy courses work. Instructors really don't get paid a lot. So, like, if you just go out to Udemy right now without using my link, and you just start searching for my courses, then they really, like, you could pay a price and they hardly give me any of that, because that means that they found you as a customer. Does that make sense? They found you, meaning you went right to the site and you typed in and you searched for me. But even though I just got done telling you about my course, it looks like Udemy found you. Or if you found a third-party site and you click on it, then, like, if you even go into Udemy, I might get half of what you pay. And then if you go to a third-party site and they send you, it's only like 25%. And the courses are already deeply discounted. I believe in Udemy. I love how they discount the courses. I want you all to get my courses very inexpensively, but please use my link. And the reason is because then I'll get like 90 or something percent of whatever you get for the course. Now I'm thinking that it's going to be about $11.99, which is a very good deal. They stopped doing the $9.99 coupons as of today, yesterday, whatever. It doesn't, maybe the day before, because I don't know when this is going to be published, because I have to wait till my course is approved and goes live. They've stopped doing the $9.99 coupon, so I can't give you a fixed price coupon, but I can give you a very deeply discounted marketplace coupon, which is probably the market value for my course, meaning not the value, because my course it costs more than that, but I'm saying the deepest discount might be $11.99. I want as many people to take this course as possible, and I want it to be accessible, but I also want to get like a little over 90% or whatever after they take their fees, 90-something% of the revenue, because after all, this is a business. And many other people charge $300 for courses, and I just don't believe in that. I mean, if someone else is selling them for that for me, then that's great. But personally, when I'm sharing coupons with my viewers on YouTube, I want to be able you to get the most inexpensive course possible. So please use my links. Don't go to Udemy right now and search for the course. Click on my link to the course. If you spend over $300 on a machine, and $11.99 is not a lot for what you're getting, because you are getting original designs. And although this course was created this year, it's based on years and years of my personal experience with crafting, and I'm infusing that all into a course for you. So I hope you will check out this course, my other courses, and if you want to become a channel supporter, then of course you will get coupon codes for this course soon after it launches. I thank you for watching my Udemy course launch. I hope you're excited to enroll in my new course. I hope that you will give me feedback on what you'd like to see in future courses that I design. And that's all for now. See you on YouTube. Lots more Brother ScanNCut tutorials to come. Thank you.